Well, aloha kakahiaka. Welcome, everybody, to the Aloha Friday Hawaii Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Peter Kay. Today is the 21st of November 2025, and you are live with us. And I'm really glad that you're here. Just like I'm really glad that I've got some special friends with me now. I've got Dylan Nonaka from the Big Island. I've got Ronnie Margolis from Kauai, and I've got Ashley Wasan from Oahu. And I'm really glad that they're there with us. We have a really cool lineup for you today. We've got a bunch of things going on. We got some market updates that we're going to be sharing. We got some Hawaii news that you're going to want to be hearing about. There's a very, very special announcement you are going to want to know about today. This is a big one, actually. And we've got some of the questions that we've got queued up for you. We got a really kind of a cool question for today. It's our special Thanksgiving episode because we're prior to Thanksgiving. So you can kind of guess what that question might be. We'll be covering from some diamonds and deals of some great properties that our friends want to share with you. And we're going to close up with some fantastic motivational thoughts. But for right now, we need to warm up, everybody. We need to warm up the internets. And actually, speaking of warm-ups, I want to warm up with Rich over here, who's back. All right, Rich, we have to figure out a way, Dylan, to give out like points, like bonus points or some kind of shareable, redeemable points or whatever. Because Rich is from Minnesota and he's with us. He is a good buddy. That's always Rich. Maybe a coffee or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, let's warm up over here. Dylan, why don't you give us the update? What's Dylan's a characteristic trademark here is the shirt that he wears. Dylan, what's the shirt and how's the Kona weather and anything else you want to warm up with this morning?
Yeah, I got a relatively new shirt, first one for the show. This is Mana Ola, and it's like got the lehua print on it. And my wife got it at some craft fair hula show recently, and so it was a new one that showed up in the closet. So I figured I would break it out for today. And it's really good material because it's like comfortable. Where you don't have to iron it or anything. You just throw it in the dryer and it comes out perfect. And so those are always the best ones. Where very low maintenance.
This is the fundamental requirement of anything I buy, clothing wise. At this point, I have to be able to pull it out of the dryer, hang it or fold it, and I'm done. If it includes ironing, except for like a suit or a dress shirt, special occasions, that's it. But it's got to be low maintenance. And I think how old is the oldest shirt that you have worn recently? Dylan or Roddy, how old is the oldest shirt that you've recently worn? I'm just curious.
I know exactly which one it is. So I have a green Sig Zane that is probably 22 or 23 years old. It was like the first one that I bought when I came out of the Marines, and I just needed like a nice Aloha shirt. And back then they were like, $50 or $60, and it was pretty expensive. And now these shirts are well over $100 easily, for the nice designer Aloha shirts. So I do it, but it's still in my closet and I still wear it periodically. It's faded, but I'll never get rid of it because it has special mana, that shirt.
Absolutely. I'm with you, man. I'm with you on the 20-year mark. I have slideshows that throw on Google Photos, right, where we look at it's just fantastic. It goes on our TV and we see some old photos back from the early 2000s. And I see myself like, hey, I still wear that shirt. And that shirt's like 20 years old. It's awesome. It's a guy thing, Ashley. It's a guy thing.
How old is
I want to hear about Ronnie's oldest shirt.
Oh, we're gonna move it. We're moving into Ronnie next. Yeah, he's our next victim. Ronnie, so give us the update first from Kauai. How's Kauai? How are you doing on Kauai? And how old is the oldest shirt you've got? We have to come up with your trademark too, Ronnie. What are you going to be known for on the show? But anyway, give us the update, Ronnie. How are you doing?
Well, I gave you the theme song. Do you need more than that?
No, you're going to have to then. Okay, so you got to be the guy when you come on, Ronnie. We used to feature a favorite song. On the show. So maybe that's like your thing from now on. When you come on, do like share us your favorite Hawaiian song. But anyway, how are you doing, Ronnie?
I'm well, thank you. It is a breezy, kind of overcast day, showers on the east side, but I always like to say since 2004 when I moved here, I love the way the trade winds paint my skin. But I don't know if you can see it. See that eye? See that funny thing on the eye?
Yeah. It's like a black eye kind of a thing, right?
Well, when you're playing pickleball and you're at the net and someone smashes the ball, this is the first time. So these are my reading glasses, but I'll be wearing safety glasses from now on. And I just thank my lucky stars that that ball didn't hit my eye. I've heard people have lost their eyes, so I was lucky.
You know, okay, as a recent pickleball, my wife and I've been playing, I think, since like March or whatever this year. I wear eye protection, man, and it saved me more than once. You got to wear eye protection. Got to do it.
I have a jujitsu Instagram group that we always send silly videos back and forth to each other. And this morning's video from somebody was a cell phone video of a pickleball fight. And the guy has the guy in a headlock and he's hitting him with his paddle in his head. And so the joke was that we got to add in, pickleball defense to our jiu-jitsu classes just in case somebody headlocks you and hits you with their pickleball paddle. So anyway.
Oh God. Oh man. That's only a guy thing. You'll never see women doing that, right? That is absolutely a masculine thing. You'll never see women in headlocks beating with they may be yelling at each other.
And these guys were gray hair, like they had to be 60 plus years old. It was like this is ridiculous.
No, women will pull hair. Like
yeah, there you go. A good hair pull.
They don't need a headlock because they're dragging you. The pickleball, yeah, Ronnie, Jake. So we would play. So we have our morning crew and we have our evening crew that we would play with. And the morning crew is a little bit older and honestly fantastic players. Like they still outperformed us hands down. And they were fun and it was fast and it was a normal pace. The evening crew, it was when the fad was peaking out last year. And these guys were like military and like young locals and they were bringing their beers and they were all hanging out in the courts. And that's when you knew stuff was getting serious on the courts. And they were hitting this ball we would just crack balls. They would just be cracked all the time. And you'd have to get new balls. And the game was to hit it as fast and hard. And it was a very violent version of it. And, we were at our peak. If you've ever watched the jokes of the phases of pickleball, we were at our peak. And Jake, black eye. It was impossible to respond in time. And his whole eye went black and blue. He did not lose his eyesight, and I do wear glasses. Not safety. Perhaps I need to level up, but I was absolutely traumatized. It is real, Ronnie. I bless your eye. I wish it a quick recovery.
We wish your eye a quick recovery. Absolutely. Yes. Well said. Well said. Thank you. Those trades, man. Hawaii, the trades is what saves Hawaii. That's it. Hawaii's weather is incredibly perfect because of those trades. Speaking of trades, Ashley's on the trade wind side of the island. How's the windward side and how are you doing, Ashley?
Same as Ronnie. It was just like a perfect breeze, nice overcast, a little bit of sprinkled rain, comfortable weather. Feels like I could eat soup and not die of heat. It's perfect, honestly. A little bit of sun will probably come out throughout the day, which will just give you enough warmth throughout. And you can still wear a little nice flowy dress and be happy. Hawaii weather truly is like a fantastic balance of warm, comfortable, and like less warm, comfortable. Different levels of warmth.
I'm with you. I especially enjoy wearing a nice floaty dress myself. It's perfect for the trade winds. It's just great. Just kind of whips right through you there.
Yeah. What's the oldest dress you have, Peter, in your closet? I do want to add to my oldest. I have my oldest pair of clothing in my closet is 20. I also think 20 years old. It was a pair of shorts that I made in high school or middle school. I sewed together a pair of SpongeBob shorts and I whipped them out the other day to see if I still fit in them.
Okay, I got one that's older. I have one that's older. So before I moved to the islands, I spent time as a digital media consultant, and that started with music. And it's a 1993 Opcode World Vision tour. They were one of the early MIDI sequencer companies. We used to call it sequencing back in the early days.
MIDIs.
And I have lots of memories when I wear a lot of shirts from the old tech days, companies that have come and gone. But I keep them for nostalgia's sake.
There you go, man. There you go. All right. Hey, great warm up, gang. I really appreciate you. You guys are a lot of fun to work with. I'm going to switch in and throw some news updates today. And I don't have all my notes correctly, but okay, we're just gonna wing it because we got news to share with you today. Okay, so we are bringing some big changes for 2026, big changes, and the big change for 2026 is that Dylan is going to be taking over my place as the main host of the show. I am going to be. You talk about transition, Ronnie. I am fading off into the sunset of transitions. I'm going to be moving on in my full, not full retirement, but more in incremental retirement, as I'm going to call it, my incremental retirement at the end of this year. It's been 5 amazing years, and so I just want to make that announcement. And Dylan, I'm thanking you for being so cool to take over the show. It's been fantastic. I can't believe, Dylan, it's been we're going to 2026 will bring like 6 years plus, just a little bit over 6 years, right? It's kind of remarkable.
We started in like what, April or May of 2020. It's been a long run, man. So
yeah, it was before. It was like in January. I have to look for the exact date. But
it was post COVID though, because it was like we were bored, right? So we'd get on Zoom and talk, and we're like, hey, we should live stream this. I think people would be interested in it.
And which was your idea. It was your idea. Your idea was, hey, we should live stream this. This is how you all started. So thank you, Hawaii Condo Realtor. I appreciate that. I will miss this too. This was a huge part of my life for the longest time, for 5-6 years, even before that, living in. I think I should get some dates. I don't have the dates, but I will figure out what those dates are. All right, back for some news over here. We got we're number 2, but I forgot what we're number 2 for, and my notes don't say what we're number 2 for, so I'm going to skip it. Wet winter is coming, so it looks like what the predictions are is that the El Nino or El Nina is a wet winter, and so far it looks to be kind of true. It's kind of I know. Well, what you right. It's starting to get wet, right? It's been. I don't know if it's wetter than usual. I usually expect October and November is the beginning of wet season, but it has been wet, as you guys mentioned. By the way, on the cloudy side, I love the cloudiness. It's kind of cool, the soup and everything. I'm with you, Ashley, on you could eat soup, etc. And I'm with you. The bummer part is that we greens, we people who are saving the planet, this hardcore environmentalist that we're not burning fossil fuels, so we invest heavily in solar and we live off the sun. It sucks because I'm not generating enough solar power. There's not enough sun in my solar powered car. I even bought a solar powered car. There's not enough solar power to kind of charge the car. So I'm torn. I'm gonna have to burn some fossil fuels probably to recharge my car. Anyway. Okay. So there's Dylan, I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's a controversy of a Big Island Burning Man in, I don't know how to pronounce this word correctly. I think it's called Papai'o. In Papai'o, there's a burning, I don't know if you've heard about that. There's a Burning Man festival that a guy was trying to start over there, and it's been really controversial, and they're kind of fighting back on it. I don't know if you heard about that, but that's creating some kind of a controversy.
Just kind of anecdotally in the news, I don't know any details about it. Not really the circles I run in. But yes, Papai'o is like a very sleepy former.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Actually, what's funny is my diamond and deal is kind of in the area. I didn't coordinate that, but just an old plantation town, and definitely not a place I think the community would want a huge crazy party going on. So makes sense.
Yeah, huge crazy party, Burning Man. I mean, I think the funny part is the guy's got like 15,000 acres, and he's using like 50. I don't know if it's the middle of nowhere or not, but Papai'o is not the place to hold here, I got some pictures here, and I thought, this is the guy on the left is the owner, and looks like he would be like a Burning Man dude. He's got the tie-dye hippie shirt, and he's got his pet zebra apparently, which is kind of cool. And that was on the right hand side is the Burning Man effigy that they created there. So I thought that was just kind of interesting, the traditions and the way everything goes. But anyway, and then finally, the other part of the news over here is the Russians have come. Yes, Russian ships were spotted off the coast of Hawaii. Russian spy ships, Russian military ships. I'm not too sure what they're doing over here, but it's just kind of always interesting to have Russians coming on through to Hawaii. at least it's a little bit of interest at the very least. At the very
To add on to the Burning Man thing, because I do pay attention on TikTok.
okay.
So
All right.
it's not that anything's wrong with doing Burning Man. It's that there's so much red tape in Hawaii, and this is not zoned, and nor is he getting permits for doing a public event. It's a paid something that people are going to. So if this person's being compensated for hosting a large scale event, even though it's on private property, the rest of us who live here have to get permits to even host a first birthday. And even if it's on your own property, if anyone has to pay for admission, it's no longer a personal event. So that's, I think, the controversy politically. As far as community, well, I don't know. People just need to probably go there and let loose and have fun. Free admissions if you're from there, and
there you go.
Pay the state their tax if you're not, and state do something actually important with the money and relevant. Everyone could win.
Thank you, Ashley, for fleshing out that story for us and giving an important backdrop and context. It's always fun. I just love the whole piece of how, we've got this really cool environment, really interesting environment in Hawaii that's kind of full of dichotomies, which is great. But it's what Hawaii living is all about. All right, let's next slide, please. Let's get some market updates going over.
Real fast too on your number two. Maybe this might spark your memory. Number two, Hawaii is ranked overall in a healthcare system, healthiest state overall. It ranked number two for the least prepared state to care for aging population due to shortage of nursing facilities. It's the second most expensive state in the United States. Any of those ringing a bell?
Okay, good. I pulled it up. I pulled up my notes. Hawaii ranks second. You'll like this, Ashley. Hawaii ranks second highest in the country for women in construction. How's that? That's a statistic.
Wow.
Get your hammer out there, Ashley.
I did construction while I was getting into real estate. I did masonry and construction for 2 years.
Yeah. Well, women make up 13.2% of Hawaii's construction industry. So yeah, you know what that means. That means it's
That's
the beginning of the end.
Really impressive. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, obviously, not obviously, but women, construction is an understandably male-dominated industry. But to have 13.2%, it's kind of cool. So there you go. So that's what we're number two on. All right. Next slide, please. Let's do some market updates. Dylan, why don't you start us off and give us our Big Island market update, and then we'll work our way down the chain.
Yeah, so if you go to the next slide, I got a couple of a visual on here and a couple of notes.
Perfect.
So there you go, right? So there's last 12 months of number of sales, and interesting that there's just kind of been stable the last few months where we're kind of at that like 375 mark, which again is historically lower than pre-COVID numbers of closer to 400, a little bit above 400. So overall, the story of this year has been pretty much blah. Like it's kind of just the same as last year, nothing exciting. We've had some ups and some downs, but it's been very, very stable, very similar. We're on track to do almost the exact same number of sales this year as we had last year. So no big changes, no big shifts. But the two kind of highlights of the notes that I got at the bottom there is interesting that inventory has stalled. So we saw from a low of like 1,400 total properties on the market when the interest rate started to rise and the hot market ended. And it was steady, 50 new, 100 new. I mean, like month after month after month, inventory, the number of properties in the market rose, and it peaked in July at 2,500 properties, a little bit over 2,500 properties, and we're actually back down to 2,400. So that increase of kind of over 2 years of it steadily going up and up and up and up month over month has stalled, and it's kind of flattened off and dropped down a little bit. So interesting to see where that goes in terms of a trend. Is that mean that people have just stopped putting their homes in the market? Because as you can see from the number of sales have pretty much been stable. So it's not like sales have increased to start to eat into inventory, which would normally make sense in an economic model. And then overall prices, everybody always cares about prices. Homes are up 9.6% this year. Condos are down 3.6%, and land is up 6%. So that's year-to-date numbers versus last year. So everything else going on, number of sales kind of flat, inventory kind of flattening off, prices are still on the rise. And anybody who's been waiting, we were the broken record. Anybody who's been waiting for prices to come down to buy are still waiting, and it's not a good idea to wait. And there's no reason next year is going to be any different. So if anything, next year will be stronger with rates coming down and other things happening. So that's the summary.
That's an interesting thing. I'm curious if you have any. You touched on it, but do you have any empirical stories that would indicate to you kind of what's going on with the inventory increase slowing? Like you said, obviously practically by definition, people that were considering selling their home have decided not to put their home on the market, right? There's less people, well, by definition, there's less people putting their homes on the market. I guess the question is, do you have any sense as to why? I mean, I remember a long-term one was always that so many people have these mortgages at like 2 or 3%, and it'd be kind of stupid to kind of sell your home for that and buy another one with like triple the mortgage or whatever. Do you have any sense of what's happening?
So here's definitely the rates, people being locked into the lower interest rate is definitely a part of it. But I just did I don't know if it's gonna release this week or next week, but I did a video recently on the capital gains exemption for your primary residence, right? And this is kind of something that's not talked about. And I read about this recently, and I was like, man, this is very interesting dynamic in the market today because of the crazy amount of appreciation that we've seen over the last 5 years. And as you know, right, for a single filer, there's a capital gains exemption of $250,000 on your primary residence, and if you're married, it's $500,000. And that went into effect, I think 1997, something like that. I mean, it was in the late 90s, and that number hasn't increased. So obviously, that was a national economic policy to encourage home ownership and then give you a break on your biggest investment. Over time, normal people can build up the most amount of wealth through really just sitting in their primary residence over time, and it was designed to give them a break on that nest egg. But if you think about the price of, $500,000 exemption in the 90s, like it may take you 20 or 30 years to realize that. And what we saw in the last 5 or 6 years is increases that were definitely, many of us who were a homeowner in 2020 realized more than a $500,000 gain in our primary residence just in the last 5 years. And the point to all of this is, the long story short, is that economists believe is having an effect on inventory now, because if I'm a homeowner and I have $800,000, $1 million in equity in my house, all other things being equal, if I got to pay a huge capital gains bill, that's a disincentive to me to put the house on the market and sell. I may make other concessions in my life in order to stay where I'm at because I don't want to pay that tax bill. And it's something that maybe nationally, if our senators and congressmen are listening, it's something to look at, because it could be having a suppressing effect right now on inventory. Is that exemption hasn't been increased in 30 years, and it may be time for that exemption to go up to allow for people to get a break on their taxes.
That is a really good point. Right?
Really. Somebody like you, right, Peter? I mean, you've been in your house for decades. It's like, I mean, how much equity do you have? I mean, it would weigh in your mind if you sold your house to downsize to something smaller or move to a condo or whatever. If you're going to have to pay a $200,000 tax bill or whatever, it would definitely calculate into your decision making.
Absolutely. And
something that I wanted to add too about that exemption. Yeah. So there's a caveat here, and you have to talk to your CPA. And Dylan, you're completely right. I agree with that 1,000%. And something I don't know if everyone realizes is that you can get an additional $250,000 tax exemption for any of your children on title as well. So you get $250,000 per person on title. So husband, wife, $500,000. You have another child, you put them on title, that's an additional $250,000 tax exemption. However, with that, of course, if you were to pass away and your child wanted to inherit the home, then they no longer have the appraisal from date of death with the tax benefit from their passing. So there's pros and cons to both, but there is a way to add to that tax shelter.
Wow, cool. That's hot news there.
I did not know that.
My grandkids on there. Do grandkids count? All right.
Yeah, so you want to talk to your CPA, Ronnie, and see should you put them on title now? But that's only if you plan on selling while you are alive. If you want to do something while you are alive, if you want them to inherit what the property, I would not add them on there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do when I'm dead.
Valid.
Yeah, that is a good question. What do you do when you're
Probably
dead,
won't have
man?
to worry about it.
That's a damn good
Ashley hit
damn
the
good.
nail on the head.
Damn good question. What do you do when you're dead? Ronnie, speaking of doing what you're dead, what are you doing now? Give us the Kauai update. What's Kauai's market looking like, honey?
Go
And
to
what's
the
your
next.
sense of it?
Go to
Next
the
slide, please. Next
Yeah.
slide, please.
Yeah.
How's Kauai doing, Ronnie?
Fine. Do you have my numbers there, or you don't have them?
Do I have you? If you put them in there, I do.
There you
Are
go.
these your numbers? There you
Yeah.
go. Hey, you put the
So,
slide in. I'm going to show it. Yeah.
This is a great example of the size of the Garden Island, right? Total sales for the year 666. So our volume is up a little bit. The number of transactions up a little bit, and the dollar volume, up 10%. And with all of this stuff, like Dylan was alluding, you can't just interpret these numbers and say, everyone's made 10% increase, because there's so many different parameters, and there's, so many sales up in the high range that will bring the medium prices up. Go to the next slide. And this is interesting, and Dylan brought up a stat. I think that kind of the neighbor islands track similar to each other. You disappeared me.
You're muted, Peter.
Looks like he's refreshing. Just keep going. Just keep going, Ronnie. He's refreshing the
Well,
slides.
One of the things that you mentioned was, single family prices up, condos down. So that's what the next slide showed, just kind of the comparison. And, we're like on rinse and repeat here, right? Because the raising of the condo fees, insurance, coupled with our prices. Some people want to retire in the islands, and maybe they're older, they want to downsize, they want to live a simpler life. But other people want an investment too, right? They call an agent and say, hey, yeah, I'm looking for something, I won't retire for 5 years, only going to be there 3 weeks. Just give me something that pencils out, meaning, I don't want to lose any money. I want the income from my vacation rental to manage the costs or then some. And that dynamic with where our prices have gone and the increase in maintenance fees. One, luxury place up north went from $1,400 to $3,500 a month with their homeowners fees because of the change. So the proposition for the buyer isn't as good. It's not, if you're an investor, it's not going to excite you. And you got a lot of sellers that think it's 2022. So that's kind of why the condo market is softer. And pretty much the Big Island and Kauai, except that we're like a fraction of the size, tend to track with each other. The urban market, as the young person on the Zoom will attest, is not quite the same, probably.
Urban market is radically different. I'm sorry about, I'm looking at the two slides that you gave me are the same. Anyway, but we'll take a look at that later. Technical details. Great update. I did a quick, I couldn't resist, Ronnie. I saw the number here. I'm going to put your thing back on the slide here. I just, my OCD brain just couldn't help it. I saw the 112 billion in total 666 sales. I'm like, okay, what's the average? The average is the average meaning that the average price, that one divided by the other, 1.681 million, 1.681 million. The average price. So that's an interesting stat, and is an interesting stat. So speaking of interesting stats, let's do where's the oh, I'm showing you all the behind the scenes over here. I'm clicking through the slides.
That's okay. You got to refresh anyways for mine. So
there, I refresh daily. It's like voting in Chicago of, refresh early and refresh often. There we go. We got your stats, Ashley. What's the Oahu market doing, Ashley?
Okay. I'm looking at it right now with you guys. Sorry. My system put this together.
There you go. Read your slide here.
In case you guys
I'll
don't
read
have
the whole thing.
eyes.
If
I'll read
nothing, the
the whole
stats
thing.
are very pretty. That's for sure.
They're
Those are
beautiful.
pretty stats.
Beautiful stat.
That's
Very
what we focused on. I was focused on design and aesthetic, and now we're going to look at the data together. I mean, I'm
Yes.
assuming it's going to be around the same. So for active listings, at the beginning of every month, we're going to go over new listings. But for mid-month data, because I like to look exactly mid-month, 1st to 15th. So this is November 1st to November 15th for mid-month. There is a total of 123 active listings right now versus the same time last year, there was 273. So it's a significant decline on the amount of active listings. For the sales price comparatively for single family homes at the top there, we have, I'm going to say this is almost par. Like that is very similar to last year, but compare that to November pre-COVID market. And the reason why I have 2019, if you've been watching the show, I like to compare pre-COVID market to what the market is today. And for closed sales, we have, again, very similar to last year, but significantly less than 2019. Days on market have been pretty consistent throughout the years. For condos, we are seeing the prices go down, the amount of closed sales down, and the amount of days on market up, which is really interesting because if you guys remember September market, it was hot. The condo market had picked up significantly. So could be because we're going into the holidays. It could be because special assessments and new budgets are starting to come out or prepare for next year. I don't exactly know, but I do have a feeling that the condo market will pick back up after the first quarter of next year. So that's my prediction. After everyone, they're going to get the new budget. They're going to get the new maintenance fees for next year. It'll be a bit of a sticker shock. People are going to see the costs go up. There's going to be an adjustment period. And then I think the condo market will pick back up after.
Interesting. You know, actually, this has really been helpful actually for you to put these numbers. And I like actually the comparison that you make to pre-COVID, like 2019. And you know, what this makes me think of is really a question for all of you is like, I'm seeing like one thing after another, both culturally, economically, socially. COVID really screwed us up. COVID really screwed us up big time. In more ways. I mean, right, Dylan, we really got screwed up. The whole COVID thing really, really screwed us up badly. And there's no way to do a counterfactual.
It
right?
definitely shaped culture big time. It changed the direction of culture. You know, so
it changed culture. Well, look, I mean, the real estate market. I mean, look, the real estate market. I mean, look, it's been 5 years, right? And the real estate market still like has not recovered. You know, those numbers were a big awakening. Actually, it's a really cool comparison to 2019. Real cool comparison.
Also, the just as a non sequitur, the membership in my Rotary Club was down 50%. And in general, you know, in America, social and civic groups that, you know, thrive on getting together and fellowshipping took a huge hit.
Huge. Yeah. Massive stuff. All right.
I didn't talk about two major news pieces, and I'm going to vote these for the next show because I think that these are extremely important. The new bird flu that is the first modern case transferring from bird to human. They're saying that that's like the new potential COVID that happened in Western America. And so I don't know, maybe that's a potential future market shift. So and second, the interest, they're talking about a 50-year mortgage, and 50-year mortgage is controversial.
The 50-year mortgage. Oh man, okay, Dylan. I mean, next show. Okay, next show. Get ready. We're going to talk about the 50-year mortgage.
With me.
Okay, next year.
Peter, you and I are taking out 50-year mortgages, aren't we?
I'm sorry. What?
You and I are taking out 50-year mortgages.
Oh yeah, I put my application in for one already. Absolutely, yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, but no, that's a really good point. Yeah.
On that point, one of the biggest effects of COVID is that no one will ever take a pandemic seriously ever again. So that's definitely a cultural shift, right? So no matter what's happening, Ashley, I think people are going to be like, blow it off. Like it could be the worst thing, it could be the bubonic plague, and people are going to be like, I'm not doing nothing about that. That's stupid.
I hope so. I was surrounded by, that's my mentality, and I was surrounded by, I was infiltrated to the other side, And I was like, oh my God, I can't do that again. I can't survive that.
That is, I mean, oh, okay, let's not get started because that is a mega show onto itself. What I did want to say is, hey, if you're with us, send us let us know where you're from. Say hello. We did get the hello from Rich, which is cool, and your Hawaii condo realtor, which is cool. If you're with us here, and I got a hello here from I can't even pronounce that, but give us a shout out. Tell us where you're from. I'd like to kind of know who's with us and who's hanging out. So we got it. It's also this is an Ask Us Anything show. So if you have any kind of question, your priorities comes first because you're here with us live. Ask us a question. I do have one topic. This is, man, there's so many things to talk about, right, Ashley? Thank you. We are heading into the Thanksgiving season. Thanksgiving is going to be what, next week? Yeah, next week. Next week, Thursday, is going to be Thanksgiving. So, of course, there's a question to talk about on Thanksgiving. And, of course, the obvious one for me is, what are you most thankful about Hawaii? Hawaii specific. What is it that you are most thankful about Hawaii? And why don't we do counterclockwise? Let's start with Ashley, then we'll go to Ronnie, and then we'll go to Dylan. Ashley, what are you most thankful about Hawaii for?
I usually like to piggyback off of others.
Okay, you can wait. We'll switch over to Ronnie. Ronnie, go. What are you most thankful for, Ronnie?
It's a tie, but I'd say the general feeling of safety and aloha in the community, and don't even feel like you're part of the tension and divisiveness that goes on, when we watch the news from the mainland. I was just in New Zealand a month or so ago, and that country has a feeling similar to Hawaii, just like, leave us alone. It's all good here. So it's the feeling of safety. And of course, the magnificence of Kauai, the mountains, the ocean. It's hard not to, just be stunned no matter how many years you lived here at the natural beauty.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Kauai is my second favorite island. I have unbelievable memories of Kauai. My favorite one, I quickly share, is we kayaked from Haena Point over a 7-day period. Kayaked and camped from Haena and ended up on White Sands Beach, and I did that when in my mid-20s, and that is a lifetime event I will never forget. Incredible. Dylan, what are you most thankful about Hawaii?
So I'll give a couple of examples. I mean, just the culture of us taking care of each other and the family culture that exists, even when they're not your family. And a good example of this was yesterday was my son's 15th birthday, and my other son had a basketball game, first preseason game of the basketball season. And we invite all of our family to come and watch. Right, grandma and grandpa get the invite, and aunties and uncles get the invite, and then we went out to dinner afterwards. But one of the folks, I'm sitting at the dinner table, and one of the uncles that are at the dinner table is not really an uncle, but a former I met as a real estate client, and actually his wife was like our number one fan on Living in Hawaii. She passed away a couple of years ago, but we've continued to adopt Uncle Chris, and I invite, because he's here and doesn't really have any family here, and he's gonna come over for Thanksgiving next week, and he comes to my son's basketball games, and he comes to my son's dinner, and I think it's just a really cool thing, one, having the opportunity to be able to do that for people, but then also having those people having that opportunity here and not having to be alone or think about having to go back to the mainland. And there's just so many countless examples of that, of you never feel like you're without family here, regardless of blood or actual relation. And I think that's not a common thing in other places. I don't hear those kinds of stories from other places, and definitely makes Hawaii special, being able to give that and receive that.
Amen to that. Amen. So Ashley, is that enough content? Go for it. What are you most thankful of,
to buy
Ashley?
some time, because figuring out the most, I'm a woman, I have a lot of words, so
okay, yeah, fair enough.
I would say I love the gift of non-materialistic joy that Hawaii offers and shows you through people, through the landscape, through the activities, the weather. I love the smell. I love the moisture. I love the air. I love the flowers. I love the people. I love the food. I love that I'm a minority and that I have insight to that, and that I'm able to humble myself around others and see life through a different lens than I had from the Northeast. I feel like peace, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful that I found a place that I just feel so at home and get to love so many people and so many things every single day. You get to really wake up and be truly inspired and full of gratitude just stepping outside of your front door. And I don't think many people get to experience that organically, because materialism is a big thing. And here you can live. I have clients that will be looking for homes sometimes, and they're like, I don't know if I like the street. Look at those houses, or I don't know if I like that area. As realtors, we can't steer people towards neighborhoods, but more so, I have the opportunity to educate them and be like, that's probably one of the best neighbors you'll have in your life. And they will probably give you so much more than curb appeal. And that's something that you get to put aside, your differences aside. When you move to Hawaii, you can have someone who has an amazing house to your left and a bust up house to your right, and you'll all come together with food and community. And I love that. I'm super thankful. You're muted.
Dylan, that's got to get clipped. That is like the coolest, excellent. Well, it was worth the wait, Ashley. It was worth the wait. Very extraordinarily well said. Extraordinarily well said.
Always put her last, Peter. Always put her last.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah, it's but that is extraordinarily well said. I'll add my 2 cents. Everything that you all said is correct. Ronnie, I'm with you on the isolation. You know, you really don't understand how here's the big understanding of you talk about the relative safety to the madness on the mainland. I don't know about you, Ronnie, but I was born in Chicago, and I left Chicago 42 years ago. 42. I came here when I was 21. That's like lucky to begin with. Like you, Ashley, I was really young. Came here when I was 21. It was 41 years ago. And, I go back to Chicago, and Chicago's not the way it was 41. Chicago ain't the way it was 41. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, you're very kind. Chicago's not the way it was 41 years ago, but Hawaii is the way it is 41 years ago. There's a few differences, but it's pretty much the same. It hasn't changed too. And there's a little bit here and there. We have more homeless than we used to have a long time ago. But overall, it's pretty much the same.
The permits are still the same. Probably still in process.
Stuff still takes forever. You still got to
still being built 20 years later.
Not a whole lot of things have changed, and ain't it great? Anyway, but look, so for me, I think the part is that now I've lived in Hawaii now for most of my life, 41 years, and I just am eternally grateful because I've lived the most amazing, incredible life that anyone could possibly live. I've seen the most amazing places. I've done the most incredible things. I've seen the most unbelievable beauty. I've connected with the most wonderful people. I've had the most incredible spiritual experiences. I rediscovered God and Christ and the Hawaiian spiritual way. I discovered all of those things. And Hawaii has brought all of it. And it's kind of funny because as an entrepreneur and combination of as an entrepreneur and a guy, we're always competitive. We're always competing. We're always competing. We're comparing ourselves to others. That's just a guy thing and an entrepreneur thing, whose business. But what's cool about Hawaii is it puts you at a whole other level. No one can compare. I don't care. Mark Benioff, the multi-billionaire owner of Salesforce, has a home on Kona, but you know what? He did not move to Kona at age 21. He did not spend his 20s surfing the beaches at 21. He did not spend his life in Hawaii. I did. There's nothing. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, all those guys, they're a zillion times more successful than I am financially, but I got Hawaii. I got Hawaii, and Hawaii puts me at a different level. I'm at my own level, and that's what I am so unbelievably thankful to Hawaii for.
Amen. And raising kids is a special place in Hawaii too, because
yeah.
you get to let them walk around with their little naked butts on the beach and like be around just so many people, and they get to be held by so many people, and they get exposure to so many like things that you just don't get on the mainland. So I feel like raising kids here is incredible. Probably one of the biggest
Amen.
blessings. The education department.
Yep. Well, as long as you could afford private school,
Not
you're
opposed to
in good shape.
homeschooling.
Or homeschool. If I had to do it all over again, I would try to homeschool.
That's another news topic. The dissembling of the Department of Education.
Hey, we're not doing okay. Have a political podcast elsewhere, man. As you noticed, in the 6 years that we've had, we've stayed clear of politics, because if you want to,
Okay, just schools, not politics, but just schools. We should have one about the schools.
Okay, yeah, all right. You here next year, you could do whatever the hell you want. You could put any kind of an agenda on the show. It's your show, because
if it's up to Dylan and our opinions, it's gonna go so political in real estate.
Hey man, it's your guys' show, man. I say go for it. Hey, you know what? It may work. It may work. It may work. All right, let's move on to the next slide, please. Let's do some diamonds and deals over here. We got some properties that our friends have got ready for us that I really would want to share. Let's go to the first one, which is Imam, who's not here. What about this one? Where's this at? Whose is this? This is yours, Dylan?
His old slide.
Okay, next slide, please.
Next slide.
Kaniohe. There we go. Next slide. Is this yours, Ashley?
I want to stay on the last segment, Peter. Can we just go back to the?
We just gotta go. I'm clicking through the properties here. Okay, all right. Here, there we go. Somebody's got a slide.
Okay,
go for it.
Well, we often have diamonds, but if you're watching this show, take a look at the starting price of this contractor fixer-upper opportunity in Lawai Valley Estates, misspelled. That's on the south side of the island. Lawai is a town adjacent to Kalaheo, and each of these are about 10 minutes from Poipu and Poipu Beach. And this may be bought by an investor, but I really hope that it's bought by a Hawaiian family that can have a place to start, and for a reasonable fee, have something that they can be proud of. Because affordable housing, just yesterday at our Rotary meeting, we were talking about how to invigorate the community of Hanalei, and how do we bridge that disparity between the billionaires that live on the beach and the local multi-generational communities. And for all of our islands, affordable housing is a big thing. So it would be nice if the government and the state could do something about it, but they move at a different speed, unfortunately.
This is incredible. 300. So I can't read the fine print that well, but it says what, a 7,500 square foot lot in a 1,500 square foot of sort of living space. Are those the right numbers, Ronnie? Yeah,
that's interior. And there's also a couple of lanai that are not included in that space. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
So you said what's the catch? There's obviously a catch. The average price is 1.6 million. This is 300,000, which is like less than whatever. What's the catch? What's the catch?
You'll have to wait and see.
Okay. All right. Cliffhanger.
If you're looking for it in your retirement, you want a project, no. The really beautiful thing about this, and it speaks to the community and the culture and closeness, is that this is a home that a local family bequested. They bequested a lot of money to the Kauai Humane Society. And then they bequested a home that they let their son live in, with the trust saying when the son passes, the Humane Society is the executor of the estate. So I'm excited to get the Humane Society as much as they possibly can. And you could say this is a loss leader price, but it is the starting price.
Man, this is crazy. This is cool. Well, good luck on this one. I'm curious how this turns out. I want to hear how the episode comes out. Now, Ashley came back. I'm assuming you got disconnected right at your moment of stardom, Ashley. You were just about to.
You can't
were just about
disconnect
to
her
earn
from
your-
stardom.
That's right. You're
The Kailua grid, if you're in Hawaii and you're in Kailua, then you know the grid goes out probably once a week. And I'm right on the cusp where it usually goes out on the older side of Kailua, but it just shot out on us. And it does that quite often. So
get a Tesla Powerwall.
You sound like our virtual assistants in the Philippines where they can't work.
Yeah.
No. I got a Tesla satellite. I just need to restart my computer.
Actually, years ago, we did made it was an expensive decision, but I think it was a good one. We bought a solar array back when they had the tax credits. We bought a solar array, solar panels, and a Tesla Powerwall, which is the key. It's a ginormous battery that powers the whole house, and there's no such thing as a power outage. You don't feel it, you don't see it. Even my UPS units don't even trigger. It's like seamless, and it's super cool. And for someone who needs to be online all the time,
8 panels, and they stopped working, but 4. And my beloved used to do solar, and so he wanted them to have microinverters. If you know anything about solar, it's where you can individually track each panel versus one cord connecting 6 of them. So he upgraded the panels to microinverters because the warranty people took 8 months and still hadn't come out and did anything. 8 months of constant contact, and they were not fixing it. And the microinverters were not equipped to our panels. And they were like, you must unplug this immediately. So that has been 2 years, and we eventually will get that battery back up and those panels up and working again. But
well, the reason why, as you know, the reason why your solar is not working, right, is because your husband's in solar. That's everything. The cobbler's children have no shoes. This is a universal truth that goes back when cobblers were the name that shoemakers were given. It goes way back.
Thank you. You just brought logic to the situation.
Yes. The auto mechanic has the crappiest cars. The auto mechanics family have the crappiest cars that never work. And that's just the way it is. The construction guy's house is always under construction. It's a universal truth. It's a universal constant in the universe. Anyway,
we have people coming over tonight for a party, and so now I finally have electrical switches and plate covers and a door handle and a towel rod, and it's been 9 months.
There you go, because people are coming over. That's right. Yeah. That's why. All right.
Okay,
Onward. So give
deal.
us So
this is
carry
a deal.
on.
This is something I personally really, really, really was trying to figure out if I could do myself right now. It just came back on market. It's 2 houses. So they're 2 detached houses on this 11,400 square foot lot. One is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom to the left. The other one's a little 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom to the right. The one on the left has 2 car garages. In theory, you could convert one of those garages to another studio if you wanted to, because there is a 3rd garage on the other side of that house as well. So that big house has 3 garages for 5 cars total. And then you have a turnaround spot and location. This is like right off of the Pali. So you can go into Kaneohe, 2 minutes, Kailua, 5 to 7 minutes, get to town in 15 minutes. It's a super nice location. You could easily walk or bike or wherever to Foodland, the gym, Long's. It's a really cool investment property. It's listed at 1.475. I'm not the listing agent. Garrett at Compass is. And I didn't realize he's at Compass. That name might be wrong. I'm sorry to the listing agent if you see this. I will verify that. Trust but verify. But this is a deal. I'm trying to get. I have so many investors, and for some reason, I just can't seem to lock this one in. Or maybe secretly, I'm just trying not to, so I can get it myself. So I'm putting it out to you guys. There is ocean views, Kaneohe Bay views, and Ko'olau Mountain views behind you. You're just sandwiched between Oahu's blessings right here. I just love this deal.
What would homes like that rent for on Oahu?
So the 3-bedroom, 1-bath is under market value right now to the right. Current market values for that one would probably be around 38 to 4,000, depending if you do pets and utilities. And the one on the left would probably be closer to around, depending if you gave them all of the garage. If you gave them all of the garages and stuff, you're probably looking around 58. And if you were to convert one of those garages to a studio, then you'd probably be looking around 45. And then the studio is probably around 2,000.
Damn. There's I don't have my 50-year mortgage calculator on here, but seems like that's you could do that on a 50-year mortgage with 30% down, and you'd be in good shape.
Even a 1031 exchange, like if you're looking to do a 1031 and you want to place it somewhere, this would be a super, I was trying to look at different options because I just feel like you can't ever CPR subdivide these lots and sell them individually. But I feel like this is one that will go up in value in the next 5 to 10 years. No crystal ball, but I feel like you'll make a couple 100,000, maybe a lot more than that in the next, 5 years or so.
Peter, if you buy it, think about how much you will have paid for it in 50 years.
Well, I won't have paid anything because presumably I won't be here unless by the grace of God I live to 130. Or wait, 110 is possible. I suppose. That is incredible. Okay, so I think that's an amazing property. Thank you. Actually, that is a deal. That is a deal, and two amazing deals here. All right, so let's see what Dylan's got for us. Dylan, I think this is your slide. Is that right?
Yeah, and just the pictures don't do it justice, but this is right on Lapahoehoe Point on the east side. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, simple house, but if you look at like the picture of the bedroom, the picture of the living room, the lanai, it's like right on the cliff. And I mean, just $10 million views and super special place, super quiet. This is out in the country a little bit, kind of north of Hilo along the Hamakua coast, but just one of those diamonds where, I mean, where else can you just stare out? I mean, basically it looks like, you're just sitting floating above the water from your bedroom, looking out that you can barely even see the greenery and the landscaping below it. So just one of those killer things. There's lots of properties like this around the Hamakua coast, but when you see something like this come on for under $1 million, I mean, come on, guys, like crazy. So
this is like you said, the pictures don't do it justice, but they're pretty darn good. I mean, they're nice pictures. It's great, great views, huge lanai, giant covered lanai, with almost like skylights.
I really like I have this at my house is the plastic roofing. I don't know if it's plastic or fiberglass or whatever, but it's translucent roofing. So it's like it lets the natural light in and just super, super cool. So
damn. That is well done, man. Well done. Those are great stuff. Great properties, great conversation. You guys are a lot of fun. All right. I think it's time to bring up it's time to close it up, folks. This has been a great love this one. This has been a lot of fun. Great conversation over here. We got some closing thoughts going on, and let's see what we got. Who is Ashley? Okay, Ashley's here twice. Let's see if I could do this. So I could remove the dark Ashley and bring back the light Ashley. There we go. This is the power restoration version. This is the power restored, the Power Ranger.
We just had a manifestation of moving Ashley from the darkness to the light.
There you go. Move it. That's it. From dark to the light. Into the light. I command thee. All right, Ashley. What is your quote today, and what does it mean to you?
This is a wonderful day. I have never seen this one before, by Maya Angelou. This is in line with gratitude and being thankful. As we are coming to Thanksgiving holiday, we like to highlight. And I felt like this was a really simple way and simply stated of appreciate being alive. Every day is such a blessing.
Amen. Every day is alive. That is a good way of putting it. This is a wonderful day. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for sharing. Dylan, what's yours? Is this yours?
Yeah, of course, the volcano, right? Which is still going off, guys. I mean, it's crazy. There was like a double fountain the other day, and I mean, just like
I heard.
It's like, it's still.
I wish I could see that. That'd be awesome.
And I'm terrible because I still haven't gone and seen it recently.
Your parents.
Hey, well, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, I feel much.
They go and see it 3-4 times a week, so it's like they go all the time. But just with the theme of the show and the announcement, I just wanted to remind everybody the only constant in life is change. And so we always got to be adapting and improving and getting better, and nothing ever stays the same. And no matter how good something is, it's always going to evolve and hopefully gets better. So that's what we'll be doing. And thank you, Peter, for entrusting us with your baby. And we'll have Peter back as a special cameo guest from time to time, but glad he can let go of one more responsibility in life. So looking forward to next year.
And thank you, Dylan. It's been so fun, and thank you, Ashley, for being such a loyal participant. And Ronnie, it's been good to. I wouldn't have met you otherwise if it wasn't for this show and for Dylan. So that's really fantastic. Ronnie, do you have a slide? There's a Michael Burnoff slide. Is that yours, Ronnie? All right, got it. All right. Hey,
Ronnie's
this is
pro,
a this
man.
is
He
a
knows
first.
what's going on. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, this is I gotta give the guy credit. He's got his slide ready. He didn't have one in previous shows, but he's got it now. So Ronnie, take the stage, buddy.
Working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something we love is called passion. And
I love that. I gotta write that one down.
I think all of us, on this call, from you, Peter, and your life in this show, and Dylan as the leader of a team, and Ashley is such an inspiring young entrepreneur, do what you do because of your passion for it. I appreciate you all, and I'm grateful to know each one of you. And as Ashley said, just grateful for the opportunity to live in a beautiful place on Kauai.
Aw, we're
Amen.
grateful for you,
Amen.
Ronnie.
Amen.
Love you
Nice.
guys.
Well said, Ronnie.
And thanks for having me on the show, Dylan. Dylan invited me on this show. I don't know, was it a year ago? I think a year and a half.
It's been a couple of years
More
ago.
than that, I
2
think.
years
Wow.
ago. It's been 2 years. Time flies when you're having fun with you guys, and I'm forever grateful.
And you've been a lot of fun. It's been really great. I mean, it's just a blast. All right, mine is of course wisdom from Proverbs. A prudent man conceals knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaims foolishness. And this is a way of saying, you've heard this wisdom expressed in other ways, which is, if you got something good, keep it quiet, keep it to yourself, do what you got to do. Don't blast it out. But if the heart of fools will proclaim foolishness. So get it done, stay quiet, get it done. Don't blast it on social media. Don't proclaim your foolishness, but conceal your knowledge. That's it for me. All right. Well, we are going to get back together again in 2 weeks, which is December 5th, as we move into the last month. And I think I got 2 more shows, the 5th and the next one. And I think that's it. So why don't we kind of say goodbye? Let's do it. We'll leave you go last, Ashley, because you started that. So Dylan, and then Ronnie, and then Ashley, say goodbye.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Have an awesome weekend.
Have a blessed, peaceful, and heart-filled Thanksgiving with your family and friends.
Thank you for watching the show. I love you guys and everyone watching. Have a great Thanksgiving. And if you know any families in need on Oahu for a meal, please reach out to Peter, Dylan, or myself and give me a message, because our Ohana is gifting meals to those in need. So please let us know.
What a wonderful Christian thing to do. God bless you. That is a fabulous thing. And thank you all. I'm so thankful for so many things, as we mentioned earlier. I'm thankful for the show. And I'm thankful for today because it's a new day. And I'm thankful for the next show that we're going to have. Aloha, everybody. Have a great one.